right, so hello to everyone. My name is Josue Guerrero, and the topics I ended up choosing were the benefits of community gardens and public green spaces. And this is actually something I'm excited to talk about because I just got back from Austin, like maybe like I think 2 hours ago actually, from attending the ASLA conference and a lot of the awards that were won by these landscape architecture firms and architecture firms included these two things, more specifically the public green spaces. So very excited to talk about it. So, like I said, I chose this topic because it resonates with me greatly. I believe there's much benefit to reap when it comes to implementing a community garden or public green spaces. So, a community garden, in its essence, is a piece of land that is being gardened or cultivated by people. Whether it is individually or collectively, community gardens are a staple when it comes to, new urbanist developments that are relying on these gardens to push for a more self-sufficient community. It creates a natural space where the community comes together to plant vegetables, fruits, herbs, or even plants. These community gardens tend to be more popular in areas where grocery stores are further. And another benefit of these community gardens is that they're actually often established by nonprofit organizations, clubs, and even churches. Which, in my opinion, this all helps with the flourishing of the community because it makes an activity such as planting feel a lot more intimate and more familiar, more a lot more close. And now that we talked about how it benefits a community, it is also important to know how it can elevate a space. A community garden has the ability to beautify a landscape, whether it's used as an adornment, such as a centerpiece for a park area, or just plain old aesthetics. It gets the job done. It helps with the overall feeling of a neighborhood to make it feel more curated and boost engagement. So not only does it elevate a space, it elevates the overall health of those in close proximity to it as well. How, you may ask? Well, a garden, it promotes healthier lifestyles. This can be from growing vegetables to incorporating them, into your daily diet, or simply the fact that it requires you to tend to it, which increases physical activity. And overall, it can really help improve the mental health of those who are either using it to help sustain themselves or use it as a form of coping or expressing themselves. And now that we have covered a little bit of the community garden information, it is time to move on to the second part, which is the green spaces that I personally love to work with. And the reason, if not the biggest reason of why I'm such a huge fan, is because, as a landscape architecture student, this is all very intriguing to me, knowing the ins and outs of these public spaces and how they cater to the community and also the environment. So it's a pretty fun, it's a fun research topic that I really like getting into. And so a big role that they play is these green spaces help promote biodiversity, to help fight climate change, which of course this is essential for especially big bustling cities because usually you tend to like open spaces, to implement a park. So sometimes it is more accessible to make, these smaller green spaces throughout the city so that the general public can interact with daily. And as city grows, the sprawl of the buildings end up taking more space and, start becoming more of a concrete jungle, in my opinion. And as a result, I feel like people can end up feeling more trapped when they live in an environment that is surrounded by buildings and and hardscape. It's almost like a dystopian movie, which feels nothing close to, homey or comfortable, which is what you seek for when having a house. And as cities grow, the implementation of green spaces has really become a trend with the new urbanism style, as I previously mentioned. A little side note, actually, 80% of the U.S. Population lives in urban areas. So these green spaces can be used to serve, as a buffer from the city life and instead provide like a spot, for nature to thrive in such urbanized areas. And when it comes to environmental conservatism, this is one of the most efficient approaches because, they help fight climate change. For example, trees and vegetation, of course, as we know, are crucial for absorbing carbon from the atmosphere. This helps reduce the pollution and carbon emissions from a big city. And this can also help drive tourism, which helps local business fronts and boost community engagement. And although these two can be fairly different, they both serve a purpose of bettering the community and environment. And for my opinion, I highly suggest looking into these topics because, there's a lot to learn and because, they both truly benefit the environment and the world in the long run. So if you have the time, I highly suggest looking into that. It's a really nice rabbit hole to get into. Not only does it provide design aesthetics, but also provides, functionality and, environmentalism, conservancy as well. But anyways, that concludes this video. I hope y'all enjoyed.